change your facial features to make that sound.
Well, it's almost like your face will tell your voice what you're doing. You know, like Hulk Hogan always had his eyes wide open, brother. And I always now I always joke around when I do it with my friends where I go, you gotta, and now for the listener at home, I'm throwing my hand out to the right, my other hand out to the left, and then one down the middle. You gotta put your hand out here to the right, brother. And then you talk about the other thing, you put your hand out here to the left, and then you put your hand down the center, dude. So he talks in threes. You know, it's like, the physicality is so much a part of, because as a viewer, when you take it in, if you're someone who impersonates voices, you take in the whole thing.
Right.
So you almost need those physicalities to bring it back out. Like, you know, Macho Man had a specific thing that he would do with his hands. His finger was against his thumb and his pinky would come up. You know, that or my good buddy. Do you know Tommy Blacha? He wrote for the WWE for a minute.
No.
He was a story guy. He was interesting story, that dude, because he was writing on Conan O'Brien. Vince came in as a guest, said, well, you know, we're always looking for writers and stuff, and he realized, I got to do this. He's a huge wrestling fan. So Tommy's a good buddy of mine. He created that the heavy metal cartoon Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll talk wrestling all the time and stuff, and he was doing Harley Race for me because he was talking about, and Harley Race had his pinky up.
Yeah.
You know, like had his pinky up and, you know, was let me do, I can't even do a Harley Race, but
Harley always talks about like this.
Yeah.
He never raises his voice.
There you go.
So you have to lean in real close. Here's a story. Harley had caught a rattlesnake and sewed his mouth closed and put him in the back of a guy's car.
What?
As a rib. It was a payback. So, you know, when Harley Race says something,
Right.
it is true because
Right.
that's just the way life is. So I had to call him on it. I said, Harley, how did you catch the rattlesnake? I baited him with a left and hooked him with the right. And if Harley says it's
Right.
true, but that's and if he was going over a finish,
Yeah.
he would be lacing up his boots, and then he would grab his cigarette with these two fingers, put the cigarette down, and continue lacing his boots.
That's
on the race.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Coming forward like that. Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, the physicality definitely. I mean, all the kids in the playground back then were, you know, I mean, and now you watch TV, like, you know, I remember I watched that. It was really interesting for me to see guys that are, you know, now have been WWE superstars over the past several years who are my age and grew up watching the same stuff I watched. So when I watch there's that Ultimate Warrior DVD that the company put out a little while back, and you've got Jericho and Edge and Christian and everybody going, Hulk Hogan. Like, that's what we were doing on the playground.
Yeah.
And you would imagine Edge and Christian would be doing the same thing, joking around with their friends, like, you know, Hulk Hogan, you know, like, open up the captain's door, Hulk Hogan. That stuff. And
Yeah, but you know, think about it. You know, Warrior got a lot of crap for his interviews, but here's the thing about a great promo or a great interview. If you believe that, or if it enhances that character, that's a successful promo.
Totally.
Like a lot of guys ripped apart the content of those promos, and some of them are a little wacky, but, you know, I mean, the guy drew money.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you heard him talk, sometimes man, it sounds a little crazy, but
Yeah.
that's the Ultimate Warrior. So
Well,
it was very true to who and what he was. So I dug it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think back then, yeah, I mean, look, the company wanted to put it on this guy. And it was like, so I just remember, like, as a kid going, yeah, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
But everything else was so strong that it was like, you had to believe it. And everything was so crazy. He's got the blown out hair and every color in the spectrum hanging off him in tassels and face paint. And so it doesn't matter. It's like, you know, look beyond the Quasar, Hulk Hogan. I talked to the warriors on the mountain. It's like just 3 minutes of gibberish, and it didn't matter.
No, it didn't.
I mean, I already believed that the Islanders, that Haku Tama and Bobby Heenan stole Matilda. So I'm pretty much going to believe anything after that.